100.9.
ABC News. I'm Mark Remillard. Portugal, the latest country to report cases of the new COVID-19 variant Omicron. The country says 13 members of a soccer club tested positive. One of those members had recently traveled to South Africa, where the variant was first identified. Countries across the globe, including the U.S., ushering in new travel restrictions. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze with more.
The World Health Organization has classified Omicron a variant of concern. Doctors say it's behind a, quote, exponential rise in cases in South Africa, and preliminary evidence suggests an increased risk of reinfection. The South African doctor who discovered Omicron says cases in patients she's treated have been mild. But the former head of the FDA is warning the data on Omicron is still limited.
President Biden is expected to address the nation today to discuss the U.S. response.
The president has a packed schedule this week, but the Omicron variant is now clearly the top priority. Over the holiday weekend, the president met with Dr. Anthony Fauci and members of his COVID-19 response team. It's unclear what specifically Biden will say during his morning speech. The White House has already urged Americans to get vaccinated and to get their booster shots, saying boosters will offer a higher degree of protection from Omicron.
ABC's M. Nguyen. Former Defense Secretary Mark Esper is suing his former department over redactions it's made to his upcoming book.
It's not clear what the Defense Department removed from former Defense Secretary Mark Esper's book on his time working in the Trump administration, but Esper says he shouldn't be forced to, quote, change his views, opinions, or descriptions of events because they may be too candid.
ABC's Andy Field. Two high-profile trials getting underway today. In Chicago, jury selection begins in the trial of actor Jussie Smollett, accused of faking a racist and homophobic attack against himself nearly 3 years ago. Then in New York, Ghislaine Maxwell goes on trial. You're listening to ABC News.
And paid for by Complete Car Care.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to the COVID crisis, we are announcing a low-cost extended service plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay nothing for auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay nothing for auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-549-1985 now. Drivers who are covered by this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair bill again. This auto coverage is at an all-time low, much lower than what dealerships are charging. Additionally, drivers who activate this auto coverage today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and free rental car at no additional cost. Call for your free quick quote today. 800-549-1985. 800-549-1985. What do you have to lose? Again, 800-549-1985.
Authorities in Pennsylvania investigating the death of a college senior.
Philadelphia police say Temple University student Samuel Collington had parked his mother's SUV on a street near campus, returning from Thanksgiving break. He was unloading his car Sunday when someone attempted to rob him. During a struggle, the 21-year-old was shot twice in the chest and died. Temple University said this is a tragedy in every sense of the word. Other students say,
absolutely insane.
I think it's pretty crazy how unsafe it is around campus.
Over the weekend, the city of Philadelphia eclipsed 500 homicides for the year. That's the most in its history. Brian Clark, ABC News.
COVID-19 overshadowed the flu season last year, and while COVID-19 is still with us, health officials say the flu season is still a thing.
The CDC reports that flu cases nationally are still fairly low, but with 90% occurring in children and young adults. It's especially acute on college campuses.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. New York remembering a Broadway legend. In Times Square on Sunday, the city celebrated the life and work of late composer Stephen Sondheim. Actor Brian Terrell Clark was there.
I can't put into words what this moment means to me. The pain and the mourning that comes along with losing a giant in our industry. Broadway is going to be feeling the wake of this for some time.
Sondheim died last week at the age of 91. This is ABC News.
Hundreds of thousands of people have said goodbye to their overpriced Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile plans and switched to Pure Talk on the same great 5G coverage as one of those carriers. Get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. The average family is saving over $800 a year. Just dial pound 250 and say Jill50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250. Say Jill50.
I'm Mark Remillard, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors, Bobcat zero-turn mowers, fantastic customer service, and the special Phil Sheehan seasonal discounts. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford is making dreams come true for folks who want their list.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. A cold front moved through last night, and we are seeing a chilly start to your Monday morning commute. This afternoon, we'll see a mostly sunny sky with rather cool temperatures. Highs today will be in the upper 40s and low 50s. Mostly clear sky overnight tonight. We'll start in the upper 20s and near 30 for Tuesday morning. Tuesday afternoon, we'll see a sunny sky with highs in the upper 50s and low 60s. Even warmer Wednesday and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Zach Moloch in the Weather Center.
Oh, I had a great weather weekend over the holidays with Thanksgiving. Got another beautiful week coming up. Today included mostly sunny today with highs around 52 with that wind gusting to about 17 miles per hour. We had wind gust all this week with the exception of maybe Wednesday, sort of light wind there, but wind gusting just about every day. Tonight we're going to drop back to 28. We are right now at 37 degrees. Another great getting up morning here in the foothills, and we welcome you to the second hour of 3 of the morning wake-up call. I trust you had a great holiday weekend, ready to face a brand new week and get anxious to get out there and get those lights turned on and Christmas packages wrapped and all that good thing. Well, it's going to be a busy, busy time, but we'll hang it together, won't we? Now, here are the death announcements for this morning. Reverend Pearson Weatherman, age 66 of Ellenboro, died Monday, November 22nd at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. Funeral arrangements are pending and will be announced by Harrelson Funeral Home. For Reverend Pearson Weatherman. Kel L. Mears, age 56 of Forest City, passed away Thursday, November 18th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. No formal services will be conducted at this time, and Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with serving the family of Kel L. Mears. Bonnie Carden Musselwhite, 71, died November the 18th at her home in Rutherford. A memorial service will be held in the springtime, and the Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory will be serving the family of Musselwhite, of Bonnie Carden Musselwhite. Robert Vance Charlie Flynn, age 50 of Forest City, died Tuesday, November 23rd, at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. At his request, there will be no formal services held, and the Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Robert Vance Charlie Flynn. Captain Craig Bailey, age 81, died Saturday, November 20th at his home. No services are scheduled at this time, and Crow's Mortuary in Rutherford is assisting the family of Captain Craig Bailey. Skip Ulrich, 68 of Ellenboro, died Friday. A visitation will be held from 3:30 until 5:30 Saturday, December the 4th at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Military rites will be rendered on the grounds of the funeral home at 5:30 following the visitation by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is serving the family of Skip Uldrich. Charles Doc Wyatt, age 91, passed away Thursday, November the 11th in Millville, Utah. A memorial service will be held at 2 o'clock December the 2nd at the Western Carolina Veterans Center in Black Mountain. Military honors will be provided by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. And Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services serving the family of Charles Doc Wyatt. Mrs. Virginia B. Sprague, age 93 of Cedartown, Georgia, passed away Sunday morning, November the 21st. A graveside service is set to be held in Rutherford today at the Mountain Creek Baptist Church Cemetery at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Crow's Mortuary is serving the family of Mrs. Virginia B. Sprague. Craig Robert Bailey died Saturday, November 22nd. Those services are incomplete at this time and will be announced at a later date by Crow's Mortuary and Crematory Service for Craig Robert Bailey. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, tune in this morning at 11:35, and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report for the complete information on the daily deaths and obituaries. Stand now by for the Bill O'Reilly Morning Update on WCAB Rutherford.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up from the NRIA.net studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. Winter can put a freeze on your finances with expensive car repairs. Your best defense? Car Shield. Car Shield's administrators make taking care of covered repair easy. They handle the paperwork and expensive payments, so you don't have to. Car Shield can help save thousands. Please visit carshield.com/bill, and you'll save 10%. That's carshield.com/bill. A deductible may apply. On this Monday, less than 2 weeks before the first Trump O'Reilly History Show in Sunrise, Florida, at the FLA Live Arena, I have 8 topics right now to discuss with Donald Trump. That will expand, and all of the topics are vital to the lives of Americans. After the straight Q&A between me and 45, audience members will be able to ask Donald Trump some questions. This live event has now taken on more importance because of all the problems President Biden is having. I have no idea how my conversation with Donald Trump will come out. I do know it will not be boring. And I do know that Santa says tickets to all 4 shows are the best Christmas gifts ever. Now, the info is all on BillO'Reilly.com. But this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience that now becomes very important. What did Donald Trump do to solve vexing problems exactly? This is no rally. This is no look back. This is a very important conversation about history. We will shoot it all on video, but only the people in the audience will see the entire thing. I'll use some clips, but you got to be there to see it all unfold. Now this. Attention investors, want predictable monthly cash flow? How about double-digit annualized targeted returns with the benefits of real estate without being a landlord? Peace of mind comes from investing with a 15-year industry leader. Savvy investors are learning about the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund, and you should too. So please call 800-800-1414. That's easy, 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at NRIA.net.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
WCAB, the music's on us.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Pass it on. This time of upheaval is causing me to look a little deeper inside myself, looking for some goodness. And this is what I've found. I'm more aware of my neighbor's well-being. I'm saying thanks to those who help keep my life as normal as possible. My mail carrier, my grocery cashier, my delivery person. I find myself caring about others instead of just looking out for myself. And oh, my goodness, does it feel good. Goodness is in you. Pass it on. From passiton.com.
Bill Crabtree was a Texas cowboy who wanted to be a great outlaw, and try as he would, he constantly failed. It seemed as if every time he turned around, he was being arrested for something, from unlawfully carrying a pistol to murder, for which he was acquitted. In 1878, he got involved with the Horo brothers. In May of that year, the Horo gang, without the brothers, attempted to pull off a major league robbery. In the process, the owner of the store that also operated as a bank was killed. The outlaws got out of town in a hail of bullets, but about a mile out of town, Bill Crabtree's horse fell dead. It had been hit by a bullet. Now, here is where 1800s forensics come into the picture. The posse cut off one of the horse's feet and took it to blacksmiths in the area. It was identified by a blacksmith as belonging to Bill Crabtree. Crabtree was arrested, and he talked like a minor bird. Even though the Horo brothers weren't on the robbery, they were arrested as accessories. The rest of the gang hightailed it to Mexico. On November 28, 1878, Bill Crabtree testified against the Horrells. That evening, Crabtree was walking the streets a free man. But his freedom didn't last long because as he was walking along the Bosque River, a blast from a shotgun almost cut him in half. Obviously, some member of the gang had returned from Mexico. Incidentally, the Horrell brothers didn't get a chance to serve their prison time. A short time after the death of Crabtree, vigilantes shot them dead. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James has added 2 new sandwiches to his already delightful menu. Along with the fresh-cooked burgers, sandwiches, fresh salads, hot dogs made to order, now try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. Both come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 4, closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford, or call 828-447-4644. And Mondays only, hot dogs with mustard, chili, and onions, only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
We have a brand new week to start with, 29th day of November, 16 minutes after 7 o'clock, and we're going to the Sheriff's Department right now and talk with Deputy Fleming about what's been happening over the weekend. Good morning. How you doing today?
Doing good. Hope you are as well.
Doing great, thanks. Tell us what's been going on.
Well, in the last 24 hours, our communications center received 217 calls for service. We've had 19 arrests, and we currently have 159 in-house at the jail. Got one incident. Renee Lauter reported a larceny in Ellenboro. I'll start on the arrests. Lisa Harris of Ellenboro, failure to appear on misdemeanor. Candace Hollifield of Rutherford, misdemeanor larceny, failure to appear on misdemeanor. Wendy Carpenter of Ellenboro, possession of methamphetamine. Justin McBain of Forest City, communicating threats and assault and battery. And Ricky Harris of Chesney, South Carolina, felony flee to elude, possession of stolen motor vehicle, and possession drug paraphernalia. That's all I have for you at the moment.
All right, Deputy Fleming, thank you very much for that report. You be safe out there today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
See ya. Bye-bye. And we'll check in with 911 Communications Center next.
Cheryl, I've been talking to Tommy and David, the outside salesmen at Henson Building Materials in Forest City. They're going to help us navigate through our remodeling project.
Well, I know they have tons of experience, so we'll be in good hands.
Good hands is right. Even professional builders shop there because they trust the quality products and service.
And did you know they have a great relationship with our community, too? Oh, they're so nice.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
911 Communication Center is our next stop, and we'll find out from Amber this morning what calls they've had over the weekend. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm great. What's on your report?
In the past 48 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 658 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 76 calls for EMS. For law enforcement, there were 217 calls for the Sheriff's Office, 62 for Forest City, 15 for Lake Lure, 57 for Rutherfordton, and 73 for Spindale. And then for fire calls, we have Bills Creek responded to a fire alarm. Cherry Mountain responded to a structure fire with Ballstick, Hudlow, and Ellenboro assisting. And then Ellenboro responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Forest City responded to a fire alarm. And that is all we have.
I appreciate it very much. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, you can look all over the place, but you'll not find a place as much fun to shop in as Washburn General Store. And you can find so many things to make gifts, giving a joy. Why don't you stop in? Besides of all of that shopping in there and finding the perfect gift for someone, with those, including those gift baskets that you can create of your own choosing, They also have fresh Christmas candy in now. They always have my favorite up there. So go and load up on Christmas candy and see what else you can find. And while you're shopping in there, if you get a little thirsty, go to the cooler there and pick you out a cool drink. My, they keep it ready for you. It's a fun place to shop, and they're open, ready for Christmas. And I know if you are looking for a place to go that's different than all the others, that different place is Washburn General Store. They'll greet you with a smile. Go shopping this year at Washburn General Store between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. Ruby's out of pocket this morning, so we're jumping over to SDO and going all the way up to Fairfield Mountains. And Gary Wilson is on the phone. And Gary, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
I am doing well. You survive all that turkey eating, I guess.
I tell you what, I think that the only thing that fit me Friday afternoon was my seatbelt in the car. Everything else was too tight.
I hear you. It was fun, though, wasn't it?
Dude, Thursday and Friday, that was some good eating.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
But we had a pretty quiet weekend. Had a lot of people in, and a lot of people enjoying the weather and the resort this weekend. So it was good to see that good crowd out, and a lot of families in and coming in and visiting. And so we're going to see a lot of that during the holidays, I think. And I would advise people right now, if you got anything out laying around in your yard you're thinking about burning, just don't do it. It's really dry right now. Humidity's been low and calling for some winds today too. So looking at the 10-day forecast out 10 days, there's not much of a chance of rain at all. Maybe one day out of the next 7 or 8 days. So I don't know how long it'll be before they put a burning ban on. If it keeps this up, if the humidity stays down low and all that. So I wouldn't advise whether they put a burning ban on or not. If you don't have to burn it, just don't. Just hold off a while. We'll get some rain, and then you can get in there and do it safely.
Well, it could get out of hand so fast with that wind, that breeze that sweeps in. It could blow those leaves that are burning out of hand pretty quick.
The ground is full of dry leaves right now, so there's plenty of fuel out there for it. So all it takes is just a spark to get it started. I think back to what happened in the Party Rock, and that started from a small campfire. So just need to be careful.
Yep.
But everything else good to go up here. No calls overnight, and ready for another week, Jim.
All right, Gary. Thanks for keeping us posted and keeping us aware of things, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Talk to you then.
All right, bye. Gary Wilson reporting out of Fairfield Mountains Fire District and also Bills Creek community. It's 22 now past 7 o'clock, and we have Coach Hubert Davis, UNC basketball coach, on tonight at 7 o'clock. Be sure to join us for that conversation.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Well, I'm sure DeVerne had a wonderful weekend with the beautiful weather we had in Bostic, and I'm sure she got some news to shed to us today. Good morning, DeVerne. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I really did, yeah. Had family in. We had a good lunch and good visitation, good hospitality, and good rest, and good get this done for me real quick, please, Jim, and work all the way around the house for my wife. She always keeps me busy. Honey-do list gets longer and longer, I believe.
Well, over here in Bostic, it's 39 degrees. The fire department assisted Cherry Mountain with 2 structure fires. One of them turned into a wood fire. So we need to be careful not to burn outside till we get some rain. And yesterday was the Far City Christmas Parade, and Bostic participated in that. They had 2 trucks in it. Randy Jolly drove one, and Shane Upton drove one. And Bostic Flores has their raffle tickets for the Chamber of Commerce. Stop by there and get you some. and need to ride through our little town over here in Bostic. It's all lit up. It's really pretty. And hope everyone has a good day.
Thanks, Devern. I'm glad they Bostic's keeping things bright over there, and we'll drop through and see what it looks like.
Thank you.
See you now. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records, and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you, so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled A-R-Y-E-E. Now let's check on Bob Hodge. He's over the Hudlow Fire District this morning on his Monday morning. Survived the weekend okay. And Bob, how you doing this morning?
We're doing just fine on this cool, windy Monday morning.
Got any turkey left?
Oh, yeah.
That's good. After 2 or 3 days, we can make good sandwiches out of it, can't we?
Well, I about wore it out there.
Have you?
We've been... Them leftovers, they last a little while, but we'll get rid of it there. So.
Oh, yeah. Not much goes to waste with a turkey.
That's right. Well, Jim, things are going along good up here so far this morning and over the weekend. We assisted Cherry Mountain on a structure fire, and then we answered a few medical calls, and that's it with the fire department. I want to say happy birthday to Bobby Vickers and Bill Samuels this morning. And also Pleasant Hill Piedmont Community Club is having a visit with Santa Claus. That's coming up Saturday, December the 11th from 12 to 3 p.m. And that's for ages 8 and under. And, Jim, that's about it up here this morning there. And that wind blowed up the britcher leg out there this morning, this pool there.
Yes, it is. It sure does. Have to put some rubber bands around the pantry leg to keep them together.
That's right there, and tie your hat down.
That's right. That's right, Bob. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend, good Thanksgiving, and glad we're out to another week. And we'll wrap November up tomorrow, and we'll roll into the final month of the year.
That's right there. This month's about gone here, and December, and then ain't many weeks here to Christmas will be here, so.
Wow.
That year seemed like it just flew by here.
It has. It sure has.
Yeah. Well, Jim, you take care and have a good day.
Thanks, Bob. You too, and I will check on you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, the day of the raffle is fastly approaching. If you have not yet gotten your ticket, I'd get one soon because they are selling pretty fast. The raffle with the Chamber of Commerce. The drawing's going to be the 17th of December right here live on my radio show. It'll be also on Facebook Live, too, so get your ticket. Don't miss out on this real opportunity. Could you use an extra $8,000, maybe $1,500 or $500? Your opportunity to brighten things up this year is here. The 2021 Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce raffle tickets are now available. Only 500 tickets will be sold, and you could win $8,000, $1,500, or $500. 3 winners and tickets are available now at the Chamber office, Main Street, Rutherfordton, and here at WCAB. Our Chamber board members have them. The drawing this year will be held December 17th, live on WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM at 8:10, and it will be live streamed. Be a part of supporting the Chamber with your purchase of a raffle ticket. Tickets are $50, and the chances of winning $8,000, $1,500, or $500 are phenomenal. Have some fun. Buy a ticket and listen for the winning number. December 17th at 8:10. You know what? It could be you. Absolutely. 29 past 7 o'clock on this Monday morning, the 29th of the month. Let's head over to the Cherry Mountain Fire District, see what Sue Price is doing this morning. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
You up at Adam already?
Up at Adam. It's a pretty day over here. The sky has been so pretty this morning.
We've had some beautiful sunrises lately, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see. The fire department had a structure fire, and they were assisted by Ellenborough and Hedlow and Bostic. On my church calendar, I've got a birthday today for Mary Down, so I hope Mary's going to have a real good day today. And that's on my personal calendar. Fairview has Brady Elton, and First Broad has Lindley Smith. So, hope these folks are going to have a good birthday. We hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. You'll have a cool day for it. But and in my announcements, the First Broad will be having their Christmas program on the 12th at 6 p.m. And I'm sure there's stuff going on at the other churches that I'll be hearing about. So Christmas is here, and it's going to be a busy month coming up. And it's almost here, and this month is just about gone.
Just about gone. Time we sleep one more night, it'll just about be over.
Just about be over. Well, I hope you will have a good day today, Jim.
Thanks, Sue. You too. And I will check back in with you tomorrow, find out how things are going over in Cherry Mountain Fire District.
All right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, folks, Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply is an amazing store. I can say that because they have what you need, from pet supplies to fire and ant killer to horse-quality Timothy alfalfa hay, $14 per bale. Attention carp fishermen, they have C&J flavoring, only $8 per bottle. And they have oats for sale. Refill your propane tanks at the lowest price. Fully stocked with all your deer supplies and a great selection of farm implements. Need mulch? $12 per scoop. We could call it a superstore. Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply, 188 Whiteside Road in Rutherford.
All right, let's see what Tina White's doing up in Shingle Hollow this morning. See, she's up and at 'em. Good morning, Tina.
I am up and at 'em. I have had the greatest weekend.
Well, good.
Shingle Hollow is a good place to be. Yeah, it's been wonderful since the last time I talked to you. We've had Thanksgiving, and we've had parades and just family gatherings, and the weather's been beautiful.
Ain't life good?
Life is good. It is 38 degrees on my front porch this morning. The sun is over Doug and Diane's house this morning too, and it's so pretty. Such a beautiful sunrise. Birthdays, we have nobody on Pleasant Grove or Piney Knob. On my personal calendar, I have Kim Lauder, Savannah Kohler, Brittany Stouffer, and Wesley Rogers. I hope all those have a wonderful birthday. Fire department was all quiet to past 24, but they're asking people not to burn anything. And White House Community Clubhouse is still having their turkey shoot on Saturdays. It starts at 11 a.m. Everyone invited to come out and enjoy that. And then Pilgrim's Way Baptist Church is having their after Thanksgiving Jubilee. Starts this morning at 10 a.m. and then there will be another at 7 p.m. Ends this Friday. It's 2 services each day and special singing. Everyone's invited. And Piney Knob Baptist Church wanted me to let people know to plan ahead for the Children's Christmas Play. It'll be on December 12th at 6 p.m. And the Adult Christmas Play will be on December 19th at 6 p.m. Wasn't the parade wonderful yesterday?
I was not able to go, but I heard it was great.
Oh, there were so many people and so much smiling and singing and dancing and just happiness. I thought it was wonderful.
Everybody's ready to get out and enjoy life again.
And we had our church had a float.
Oh, really?
And so we rode on the float and we sang. We had guitars and banjos and the youth singing and just everybody on the float singing, and we had jingle bells, and we were ringing the bells for Jesus. And as we went down the street, these little kids would just smile from ear to ear and light up, and just, oh, it was so wonderful.
That's great. I'm glad. I wish I could have been there. I'm glad so many folks turned out for that. There was a big crowd at the lighting of the trees on Thursday night, Thanksgiving too. They estimate anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people were there.
Right, and it was beautiful too.
But that's great.
Well,
And people are happy to get out and enjoy Christmas again.
Yes, and it's not about the money. It's about us sharing the love about Jesus.
That's right. That's what it's all about.
Well, everyone have a wonderful, safe Monday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Tina, have a good one now.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Let me brag on Hutchins Pest Control a minute. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service may be the reason they keep getting voted best pest control. If you have a pest problem, call this family-run business at 287-5171. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Get a free estimate when you call Hutchins Pest Control and be sure the job is done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171 and they'll be right there.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford-Ton.
Hello, Brenda Kelly. How are you this morning?
I'm fine, my friend. How are you after you being gone what seemed like forever?
Yeah, it does seem that way sometimes. But it was good to be off at home, and Faye about worked me to death, but other than that, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, sure did.
So you had a long honeydew list.
I did, yeah. I hadn't got it completed yet either.
Well, you better hurry and get it completed because it's countdown to Christmas now.
It's coming close, isn't it?
Yeah.
You had a good
I'm
weekend, though, I guess.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Had a family in for Thanksgiving. Had all kind of food and I've eat all I can eat, and the rest goes to the dogs.
Oh yeah. We had about everybody in for Thanksgiving lunch too, all except my grandson, his wife, and baby. They didn't get to come. They were sharing their time with her folks, so they can share their time with us later on. But we had just about everybody there. It was a fun time to have the family together.
Yeah, it's good to have them together. Yeah. Well, all my family wasn't here, but most of them was. So I understand. You know, things happen, and you when you're grown, you got grandparents and great grandparents and in-laws and outlaws. And
That's right. That's right.
You have to try to spread it around, so you know that's okay. But we hope everybody's having a good Monday morning. I've got 34 degrees on the front porch, and in ways of announcements, Piedmont Pleasant Hill Community Club lunch with Santa Claus Saturday, December the 11th from 12 noon to 3 p.m., and this is for children 8 years and younger. And then Friday, December 3rd, Junior Mills Learning Center 6 p.m. Ham or turkey meal, and the cost is $7. 7 p.m. Homegrown will open the music program Deep Roots, which is the Jackson family, will also play. No admission, but tip jars available for the band. And then we got a Christmas party at the Union Mills Clubhouse, December the 4th. Eat at 6. Bring a well-filled picnic basket. We'll have door prizes. Bring a gift. They're selling raffle tickets, $1 each, or 6 for $5. First prize is $100. Second prize is $75. And third prize is $50. And fourth prize is a homemade quilt. Tickets on sale at door, or see Faye Flynn or Christine Ammons for tickets. And so far, that's all I got going on.
All right. Big plans today?
No, I ain't going to do a whole lot today. I'm just going to sit back and rest.
I don't blame you for that. Don't blame you for that at all.
Keep the fire going.
Well, you got better do that.
Yeah, I got to do that or I'll get cold. Yeah. But we hope you have a good day, and I guess you better go check on Luther Sweet Thing Gilligan.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, catch you later.
Right, bye.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Coach Hubert Davis, coach of UNC basketball now, he'll be on tonight, 7 o'clock right here. Hear him talk about the game over the weekends. They had on with NC State on Friday night, 34-30, NC State over UNC. I believe that was maybe football. That was football, and then we'll see what's taking place coming up. And they'll be talking about, of course, March Madness always falls, of course, in springtime or the latter part of winter. So we got a lot of sports yet to do, and we hope you'll stay with us. Now here's Luther Gilligan over at Ellenboro with our morning report. Good morning, Luther.
Good morning, you two. It's good morning down here.
Good morning. Beautiful morning.
It is. Sun's coming up. Going to be a good, pretty day. A little cool, but hey, we won't be sweating too hard.
Well, I hope you'll do something productive today.
Oh, I do something productive every day.
Do you?
Yeah. It's hard work. I get up every morning.
I'm happy to hear you.
It's hard work. Let's see. We're doing pretty good as well. We've had a quiet weekend, too. Fire department had 2 medical calls, had 1 accident, had 1 controlled burn, and they went to Sis Cherry Mountain on possible structure fire. And let's see, they're out on an accident now over here on New Heights Road. Standing by there waiting on the rollback wrecker or whatever to get there, take care of it. And other than that, nothing going on down here. Everybody just trying to get back to work, get another week started. So you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Enjoy your Monday, and I'll see you then.
All right, take care now.
Bye. Time for birthdays and anniversaries now for this 29th day of November. You can call yours in to us, and we'll celebrate. And wish you a big old happy birthday or anniversary right here on the program. 287-3356 is the number to call for the birthdays.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Tuesday through Saturday is a great day to have a good breakfast at Granny B's in Spindale. Tuesday through Saturday is a great day to have lunch with those delicious subs fixed the way you like them. And Tuesday through Saturday is a great day to have pizza. Order your pizza. The special Granny B's Super Deluxe Pizza is outstanding. You'll find them ready to serve you, and you'll find any day, Tuesday through Saturday, a great day to have those delicious Daylight Donuts. They're a variety place to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Granny B's. Check them out. You'll become a fan like so many of us are.
Happy birthday.
Jamie Doty's having a birthday today. Wish Jamie a happy birthday. And birthdays also include C.S. Lewis. He's an author. He was born in 1898, died in 1963. Merrill Travis, country singer, born in 1917, died in 1983. Chuck Mangione, he's a trumpet player. 1940 he was born. Gary Shandling, he's a comedian, 1949th birthday. Howie Mandel, he's also having a birthday today. He's a comedian, 1955. I think he's also on America's Got Talent, American Got Talent. Events today include 1975, Sir James J. invents Invisible Ink. 1877, Thomas Edison demonstrated hand-cranked phonograph for the first time. 1948, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie debuted on NBC. 1972, the first commercially successful video, same as released, Pong. National Electronics Greetings Day today, National Cyber Monday Day. So, Jackson McGinnis is having a birthday today, so happy birthday to Jackson. Now you're up to date on this day in history here on WCAB. We have the job market report coming up top of the hour today, so hang around and find out where jobs are. All right, WCAB.
A man was discussing the secret of his rise in popularity. He attributed a newfound success to just one particular word. Years ago, he said, upon hearing a statement with which I disagreed, I used to say baloney, and people began to avoid me like the plague. Now I substitute amazing for baloney, and my phone keeps ringing, and my list of friends continues to grow. The Bible says a word aptly spoken is like apples of gold in settings of silver. We can all visualize a beautiful silver bowl sitting on an end table filled with golden apples. Such is the beauty of thoughtful words spoken at the right time. The psalmist said, "Let the words of my mouth be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord." Wherever possible, our words need to be intended to enhance and beautify others. The Apostle Paul writes, "Let your conversation be always full of grace as you answer others." We can all improve our speech toward others if we work at it. We may find we are received with a new response and surprising popularity if we just change a few little words like baloney to amazing. Today, why not ask yourself if you like others to respond to you the way you do to them? Then, where change is necessary, have the courage to do it. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for these programs are sold in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
WCAB, the music's on. WCAB
was reported to the World Health Organization, and now more than a dozen countries have reported cases, and nations around the globe are ushering in new travel restrictions. Director General of the WHO, Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus.
Omicron's very emergence is another reminder that although many of us might think we're done with COVID-19, it's not done with us.
Little is known about the new variant, and researchers are working to learn more.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says it's only a matter of time before the Omicron variant is identified here in the U.S.
Inevitably, it will be here. The question is, will we be prepared for it? And the preparation that we have ongoing for what we're doing now with the Delta variant just needs to be revved up.
Health experts say it's too soon to know if Omicron causes more severe illness than other variants, and continue to stress the importance of getting vaccinated. Pfizer and Moderna are already working to adapt their vaccines to fight Omicron if necessary, a process that could take 2 to 3 months.
ABC's Mona Kosarabdi. President Biden is expected to address the nation this morning to discuss the U.S. response. House Democrats are expected to introduce a short-term spending plan to fund the government into January. The plan would avert a government shutdown when existing funds run out this Friday. Congress still not agreeing to a long-term spending plan. A fashion powerhouse has died at the age of 41.
Virgil Abloh, one of the most influential powerhouses in fashion and art, passing away over the weekend as he privately battled a rare form of cancer. Abloh was a widely celebrated figure in the cultural world as the first black creative artistic director in the 167-year history at Louis Vuitton.
ABC's Will Gans. Jury selection getting underway today in the trial of actor Jussie Smollett, accused of faking an attack on himself nearly 3 years ago. You're listening to ABC News.
If you're with Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile, you're paying too much for cell service. It's Jill Schlesinger. Did you know Pure Talk gives you the same great coverage on the same great 5G network as one of the big guys for about half the cost? The average family is saving over $800 a year. I know what you're thinking. How do they do that? Pure Talk doesn't have thousands of retail stores and overhead that you have to pay for. And they don't charge you for the added perks that you never use. You can keep your phone number and keep your phone, or get huge discounts on the latest iPhones and Androids. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless.
As Israel is ushering in new travel restrictions due to the new Omicron variant, the U.S.'s new ambassador to the country, Tom Nides, has arrived in Tel Aviv and is being required to quarantine.
The former Wall Street executive and State Department official took a PCR test at Ben Gurion Airport. He's now entered a 3-day quarantine here in Jerusalem. None of this dampening his enthusiasm. Nides tweeting he's honored to serve America here. The core values of democracy, freedom, and opportunity, Nides said, link the U.S. and Israel and create a, quote, unbreakable bond. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
Starting today, tickets are on sale for a highly anticipated Marvel movie, and the studio and a theater chain are offering a bonus to people who purchase ahead of time.
AMC and Sony Pictures will give away 86,000 non-fungible tokens, NFTs, to members of its subscription service who pre-order tickets for the December 16th opening of Spider-Man: No Way Home.
That's ABC's Jim Ryan. Next month will mark President Biden's first Christmas in the White House, and the theme is Gifts from the Heart. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden unveiling decorations to match. Her office says more than 100 volunteers spent a week trimming 41 trees with 6,000 feet of ribbon and more than 10,000 ornaments. There are 25 wreaths and 79,000 holiday lights. Dr. Biden invited a Maryland grade school class to help her reveal all of the ornaments. This is ABC News.
500,000 businesses connect using Zoom, a single platform for video, phone, chat, and conference rooms. Zoom enables real-time collaboration no matter where your teams are. Global enterprises trust the easy-to-use, reliable, and secure Zoom platform to power high-performance teams. Empower your workforce with Zoom. Save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
I'm Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Hello and happy Monday. A cold front moved through last night, and we are seeing a cool day ahead. Full of sunshine, though, that mostly sunny skies with us all day long, but highs today staying in the upper 40s and low 50s. For tonight, we'll see a mostly clear sky. Temperatures will start in the upper 20s and low 30s Tuesday morning. Sunny skies in the forecast Tuesday afternoon with milder temperatures. Those highs back in the upper 50s and low 60s. Even warmer Wednesday and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
It indeed is going to be breezy today, but temperature is going to be really, really nice. Warming up to about 52 around here in the foothills. And right now we're at 37, dropping back to 28 tonight. Be back in the freezer locker tonight. So keep warm woolen pajamas handy because you may need it overnight, and keep the furnace turned up. All right, let's head on over now to find out where some jobs are on this Monday as we close out November and head into the month of December. Anita, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did.
Ate too much?
I tried not to. I hear you.
It's pretty easy to eat too much at Thanksgiving.
That's for sure. Well, we've got a CNA up in Rutherford that does require a high school diploma. That pay is $14 to $16 an hour. We have a senior facilities maintenance technician in Spindale. That is $15,900 to $63,000 a year. That does require a high school diploma and 2 years experience. We have a machine operator out in Bostic. They not require any experience or education. We have a maintenance electronics technician in Rutherford that requires 2 years of college and 5 years experience. We have a site supervisor in Rutherford that requires a high school diploma. We have an extension agent out in Columbus that is a $40,000 to $45,000 a year that requires a bachelor's degree. We have a metal spray tech out in Var City. The starting pay is $14.50. That does require a high school diploma and 3 months experience. We have a wire welder in Var City. That pay is somewhere between $16 to $18. That is does require a high school diploma and 6 months experience. We have an assembly line leader in Far City that does require a high school diploma in 6 months, $15.50 an hour. We have a maintenance storeroom clerk in Far City that requires a high school diploma and 6 months experience. The starting pay is $15.50. We have a housekeeping attendant that is part-time out in Ellenborough that requires a high school diploma. We have a part-time equine therapist out in Ellenborough that does require a master's degree and 2 years experience. We have a general utility up in Rutherford, $25,960 a year to $63. That requires a high school diploma. We're also having a job fair, a hiring event for the Department of Public Safety, and that is on the 14th of December from 10 to 1. That'll be here at our office. That's pretty much the events that we have so far this month. And, of course, tomorrow is the last of the month. So, but for any more information and any more hiring events and for information about these jobs, you can call us at 828-286-3042. We're here on 223 on Charlotte Road up in Rutherford.
Sure would be a great way to start a brand new year. We're going to find a good job for somebody and going to work. If people have been not working for some while, they might be ready to go in 2022.
That's right.
I hope so.
That's right.
Listen, thank you very much for being with us. I look forward to talking to you again next week.
Talk to you next Monday.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, 8 minutes after the hour, 8 o'clock, and we've got a lot to pack in these next few minutes, so let's get rolling.
Our biggest holiday deals are on now at Carolina West Wireless's Keep On Giving event. Save $400 on the new Samsung Galaxy S21, S21 Plus, or S21 Ultra when you sign up for select unlimited plans. Give the gift of better connection to everyone on your holiday shopping list with unlimited data that keeps on giving all year long. Just $35 a month per line for 4 lines. Receive a $100 Fanatic C code with any new activation on our premium unlimited plan. Hurry in to Carolina West Wireless to celebrate deals that keep on giving. Certain restrictions or conditions may apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
Well, thousands have gathered, and many of you were there, gathered downtown Forest City Thanksgiving night when the town's famed Christmas lights were officially turned on to mark the beginning of the holiday season. Officials speculated that they were perhaps the largest crowd ever for the annual event. Mayor Steve Holland said through the years' attendance that the Christmas lights ceremony has grown, but I think this year had the biggest crowd ever. He presided over the event. During the ceremony, Holland recognized and thanked local veterans as well as frontline workers during the COVID pandemic, including emergency workers, teachers, and store employees. The Christmas lights officially were turned on by a local couple, Bill and Ada Banfield. Holland explained Friday why he chose the Banfields for the honor. This is a couple in their 90s. They're active, they love their community, and they have been married for more than 70 years, Holland said. They are an inspiration. That's why they were selected. Among the thousands who gathered on Main Street were plenty of Rutherford County residents, but also many from outside the area, including South Carolina, Tennessee, and Virginia. We even had some visitors from Key West, Florida, who say they're planning to move here, Holland said. The town's Christmas lights and assorted holiday activities, including horse-drawn carriage rides, which began next weekend, have given Forest City much positive publicity. Besides being officially promoted as a tourism destination during the holidays, media outlets have also spread the word about Forest City's holidays displays. Travel website romanticasheville.com says Forest City, with its 1 million plus lights, is the ultimate festive small-town experience to get you in the holiday spirit. romanticasheville.com lists Forest City as among the top places to visit in western North Carolina for Christmas lights, along with the NC Arboretum and the Biltmore House. Overall, Holland says the Christmas lights event went smoothly. It was a smooth event. The article did not mention that a Christmas concert by In His Glory was preceded all of that, but it was a big crowd. We enjoyed being there. The Christmas spirit will be alive and well for the annual Bechtler Christmas Open House Saturday, December the 4th at 160 West 6th Street in Rutherford. This event begins at noon and will continue until 4 p.m., giving everyone plenty of time to partake in tours and live German Christmas music performed by Edelweiss 2 before the annual Christmas parade makes its way to downtown Rutherford at 5 p.m., which will be followed by lighting of the largest Christmas tree in North Carolina, there on the courthouse lawn. Bechtler Heritage Center guests will appreciate authentic German cookies and refreshments, view period artifacts and exhibits, walk amidst holiday lights and decorations that will transport them to the 1830s. The Bechtler legacy lives on through the tours given during the open house by docents who are excited about Rutherford's place in the North Carolina's gold history. The Heritage Center also serves as the headquarters for the North Carolina Gold Trail, which connects more than 30 counties with historical significance from the NC Gold Rush. The special exhibit during the open house is the largest collection of Bechtler coins, the Norman Jenkins collection brought to us by Betty Jenkins. Christopher Bechtler minted America's first $1 gold coin 17 years before the U.S. Mint. The Bechtlers minted more than $2.24 million in gold coins, stimulating commerce in the Southeast, leaving a permanent legacy to both Rutherford County and American heritage. A lot going on in Rutherford County. Retailers were busy on Black Friday, including some locally owned businesses. Black Friday is the day following Thanksgiving, often considered the traditional start of the holiday shopping season. Some of the downtown Forest City businesses even opened on Thanksgiving night in anticipation of large crowds to see the town's Christmas lights, and they were not disappointed. It was absolutely ridiculous. I've never seen as many people downtown, said Jason Harrell. It was amazing. He and his wife own Harrell & Harrell Design. I believe business remained brisk for Harrell & Harrell on Black Friday. I believe people are feeling better than last year, he said. They're feeling like it's more back to normal. America's Fudge Shop, also located on Main Street, Forest City, opened for business in February 2020, just as the COVID pandemic was starting. Even so, their business has thrived. Beverly Philbeck, who owns the business with her husband Doug, said, "I have never seen anything like it. The Thursday night crowd was amazing. We thought business would increase over last year, but I had no idea it would be like this. Business was so good for American Fudge Shop on Thursday evening, everything sold out." We had to put a sign on the door that we open Friday at 5 p.m. We couldn't open during the day because we had to go make more fudge. So they had a big night there on Thursday night as well. Melissa Cantrell of United Bank and the Forest City Downtown Merchants Association says the Thanksgiving weekend is important for local businesses. Shopping with local merchants with smaller independent operations is important for all of our country. And downtown Forest City has everything you need. I encourage people to spend money at local shops as much as possible. Spend money local and keep it in our local economy. Have opportunities in Forest City, Spindale, and Rutherford to shop this Christmas, and do as much you can in outlying areas, such as Washburn General Store is a great place to go shopping. Ellenboro has some nice shops over there, and look around the Bostic area, you'll find places to shop. So shop our local merchants first and see how much fun it is to keep the money right here at home. Makes everybody's Christmas a little brighter. 15 minutes after 8 o'clock. Sports is 8:25 this morning. Right now, let's hear this.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith's Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith's Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recalled devices. Just call the Home Medical Department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591. And Smith's Drugs has the Moderna and Pfizer initial shots and the boosters. They also have the flu vaccines, and November is Diabetes Month. Get 10% off diabetic socks for the month of November at Smith's Drugs of Forest City.
Do you need an insurance agent you can talk to? Call Insurance Service Associates at 828-245-5301. We want to help you get the best out of your insurance dollar. As a trusted choice independent agent, we shop your coverage with several companies to give you the best value. More companies, better choices, best rate. Come see us at our new office at 245 East Main Street in Forest City, or call us at 828-245-5301.
When it comes to checking your Christmas list and checking it twice, check out B&D Thrift and Loan this year. They have a great selection of jewelry, appliances, musical instruments, electronics, toys, gaming systems, and brand new four-wheelers, 110, 125, and 150 cc's. B&D is still buying gold, so if you have old gold or jewelry lying around, bring it to B&D and turn that old gold into cash on the spot. Located on South Broadway in Forest City, or call them at 245-3551. Your one-stop Christmas shop.
You know, with all the good happiness and all the good joy around holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, there's still those folks that are so sour on themselves, sour on life, they just try to make something out of nothing. Several American universities are participating in an event asking whether Americans should reconsider the Thanksgiving holiday. The Alumni Association of University of Maryland, Florida Gulf Coast University, Washington State University, University of Central Arkansas, Hiram College in Ohio, and California State University Long Beach are participating in this. After the initial publication of this story, a spokesperson for UCLA claimed that it had no knowledge of the webinar. After Fox News asked UCLA why it had no knowledge of a webinar on its own web page promoted, the spokesperson said ALC is a contracted service and that UCA Alumni Association uses for content. But what we've been able to determine, the information was mistakenly linked to UCA. The webinar was not one that was requested by our Alumni Association. According to the event description, the recent national shift from Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day reflects a changing national mood and asks if Americans should do the same with Thanksgiving. Starting in 1970, many Americans, led by protesters, believed that Thanksgiving should be rededicated as a national day of mourning to reflect the centuries-long displacement and persecution of Native Americans. The recent shift from Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day reflects a changing national mood, the event says. Should Americans reconsider Thanksgiving when wrestling with our country's complicated past? The myth of Thanksgiving is powerful and ambiguous. In the autumn of 1621, so American legend has it, English pilgrims seeking religious freedom shared a feast with Indians, the residents of the territory of the Pilgrims labeled Plymouth. The good feelings of that meal soon faded when native people and English colonies, including the Pilgrims, began to compete for resources, initiating conflicts that raged for generations. Yet despite the often violent relations between the nation and the communities, the myth of coexistence remained. And so the argument is that the Americans mistreated the Indians, so we should change the day of Thanksgiving to something else. The event speaker, Peter C. Mancall, a professor at the University of Southern California, told Fox News that his goal for the event is to explain the context for events and offer insights about how to interpret the existing evidence. He said, I respect my audience's ability to draw their own conclusions about the material. So they were looking, sending up trial balloons, see how many people swallow that and jump on that and say, oh, yeah, we need to do that. Just like they want to take down Thomas Jefferson's statue removed from the City Hall. Yep. As our art handlers packed up a statue of Thomas Jefferson in a wooded crate after a mayoral commission voted to banish the likeness of the nation's third president from City Hall, where he's resided for nearly 2 centuries, because he owned some slaves. About a dozen workers with Marshall Fine Arts spent several hours carefully removing the painted plaster monument from its pedestal inside the City Council chambers and surrounding it with sections of foam and wooden boards. They then lowered the massive structure down the stairs leading to the building's first-floor rotunda with a pulley system and ushered the founding father out of the back door. The statue of Thomas Jefferson was taken out of City Hall last week. That's out of a New York Post, so they're still tearing down history, regardless how it could be construed, how ugly it might be. They're still tearing down history. We need to remember history, folks. 21 past the hour of 8 o'clock. Sheriff's Report with Deputy Fleming coming up here in just a few moments.
When the custom cake has to be perfect, it needs to come from Southern Belle Cakes by Nikki Lee. Weddings, birthdays, baby showers, holiday cakes, call on Southern Cakes by Nikki Lee. She does amazing work for special events like school packages for teachers, special events for corporations, treat tables for any event. Nikki also has pre-packaged Christmas treats like hot cocoa bombs, cupcakes, cookies, chocolate-covered pretzels, and so much more. These will make great stocking stuffers or a surprise gift for someone special or a coworker. Give Nikki a call today at 828-896-4780. That's 896-4780. Southern Belle Cakes by Nikki Lee, voted Best Cake Artist in Rutherford County.
Why, does that sound good? Yeah. Hey, listen, Anchor Down is one of those stores that makes you want to come back again and again. That's because they have so much in the store that makes your trip worthwhile. Clothes, shoes, and books are 50 cents. Jewelry is $1. Coats and pocketbooks, $2. Anchor Down has new toys and Christmas items at really, really low prices. Christmas decorations, including trees, are greatly reduced. Beautiful wreaths are slashed. New arrivals each week in this storehouse of fun shopping every day. All furniture, half price. All I can say is you just have to go by and see for yourself. It's Anchor Down, 155 West Main Street, right downtown Forest City, right across from Carolina Chiropractic, 10 to 5, Tuesday through Friday. You won't need much money to buy good-looking stuff at Anchor Down. Now, Deputy Fleming was with us earlier from the Sheriff's Department to give us an update.
In the last 24 hours, our communications center received 217 calls for service. We've had 19 arrests, and we currently have 159 in-house at the jail. Got one incident. Renee Lauter reported a larceny in Ellenboro. I'll start on the arrests. Lisa Harris of Ellenboro, failure to appear on misdemeanor. Candace Hollifield of Rutherford, misdemeanor larceny, failure to appear on misdemeanor. Wendy Carpenter of Ellenboro, possession of methamphetamine. Justin McBain of Forest City, communicating threats and assault and battery. And Ricky Harris of Chesney, South Carolina, felony flee to elude, possession of stolen motor vehicle, and possession drug paraphernalia. That's all I have for you at the moment.
Thank you, Deputy Fleming. I appreciate that report. Now, keep in mind, folks, doing the hustle and bustle of shopping and visiting and doing all the things you're doing to get ready for the holidays. Don't forget to get your chamber raffle ticket to win lots of money. If you have not yet purchased those, get them before they're sold completely out. And we'll have that drawing live here on the 17th of December. You can get your tickets right here. Just stop by to see me right after 9 o'clock this morning. I'll be glad to help you out. Stand by. Sports Update is next.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Miami's defense forced Cam Newton into one of the worst statistical days of his career. The Dolphins beat the Panthers 33-10 on Sunday as Newton threw 2 interceptions and completed just 5 of 21 passes to his own teammates for 92 yards before he got pulled in the fourth quarter. Head coach Matt Rule, after his team floundered against the Fish.
We're really disappointed. That was not a strong performance in any way, shape, or form. We came into this game very confident, expecting to play very well. Really couldn't get anything going on offense. Put PJ in the fourth quarter because he knows the 2-minute and the rally stuff. Obviously better than Cam because of his experience, but just a poor day all around.
Rule says Newton will be the starter when the Panthers return from their bye week to host Atlanta. Carolina, meanwhile, slipping in the division as the Bucs and Falcons picked up wins while they suffered their loss. Leonard Fournette's fourth touchdown of the afternoon with 20 seconds left sent the Bucs past the Colts 38-31, and the Falcons topped the Jags 21-14. Before that game got started, Jacksonville's mascot, Jackson DeVille, got stuck after bungee jumping above the crowd at Everbank Field. He stalled midair and just had to hang there for a while.
Some say the ropes don't keep him from falling to the earth, but rather from flying to the heavens. Some say.
Eventually, he was lowered down to the upper level where fans greeted him. Other NFL action on Sunday, Aaron Rodgers threw 2 touchdowns and ran for a third as the Packers beat the Rams 36-28 at Lambeau Field. The Giants beat the Eagles 13-7 at MetLife. Michael Strahan's number 92 was retired during a halftime ceremony. The 49ers beat the Vikings. The Patriots improved to 8-4 after they routed the Tennessee Titans 36-13 for their 6th consecutive win. The Ravens held on to beat the Browns. The Bengals bounced the Steelers and swept Pittsburgh for the first time in 12 years, and the Broncos beat the Chargers, while the Jets dropped Houston to end a 3-game skid. This is NCN Sports.
If the power goes out for your business, are you prepared with a backup? Without electricity, security systems go down, refrigerated items spoil, and customers are turned away. In other words, your business loses money. Control your power. Control your business with a Generac automatic standby generator. Alternative Power is North Carolina's Generac generator experts. In fact, all Alternative Power does is provide backup power. Financing options are available. See more at alternativepower.com.
Building vibrant rural communities.
Do you find yourself considering a home generator when a storm is approaching? It's better to prepare now. A Generac automatic standby generator from Alternative Power guards the home against blackouts caused by weather of all types. 45 years in business and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Act now for a free 10-year warranty on a Generac automatic standby generator from Alternative Power. Terms and conditions apply. Financing options are available. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
David Cutcliffe will not be back at Duke for a 15th season as the Blue Devils head coach. ABC 11's John Clark has the details.
Coach Cutcliffe and athletic director Nina King coming to a mutual agreement to part ways. According to a statement, Cutcliffe says now is, quote, the right time for change in the leadership of Duke football. Karen and I have loved our time in Durham. Duke University will always hold a special place in our hearts. To our current and former players, please know how much joy you brought to our lives, end quote. Now, Duke says a national search for his replacement will begin immediately.
Dmitry Orlov scored on the power play with 2:55 left, and the Washington Capitals recovered after blowing a 2-goal lead to beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-2 on Sunday. Carolina now 15-4-1 on the season. They are losers of 3 out of their last 4. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Hello and happy Monday. A cold front moved through last night, and we are seeing a cool day ahead. Full of sunshine, though, that mostly sunny skies with us all day long, but highs today staying in the upper 40s and low 50s. For tonight, we'll see a mostly clear sky. Temperatures will start in the upper 20s and low 30s Tuesday morning. Sunny skies in the forecast Tuesday afternoon with milder temperatures. Those highs back in the upper 50s and low 60s. Even warmer Wednesday and Thursday. I'm meteorologist Zach Malak in the Weather Center.
And right now, our temperature reading is 38 degrees. A beautiful day shaping up here in the neighborhood. Another great getting up morning here in the foothills. It's 8:30. This is WCAB Rutherford, serving the foothills of the Carolinas from 100.9 FM, 590 AM. It's time now for the Word of Faith Fellowship radio program. And with the program this morning is Gerald and Linda Sutherland.
Hello, welcome to the Word of Faith Fellowship radio program. I'm Gerald Sutherland. This is my wife, Linda. We're ministers at the Word of Faith Fellowship in Spindale, North Carolina, and we're so happy to have you with us today. Yes. We've come to share with you some things that God has laid upon our hearts and things that have affected our lives for the better for many, many years. And I believe that as we share them with you, there'll be an influence upon your life for a bettering of your life in the days to come. Throughout the Bible, throughout the Word of God, there are principles that God has established that have governed the lives of many, many people and has caused our lives to be more fruitful and more beneficial in many ways. And one of those principles we're going to be sharing with you today, and by the way, those principles are found in the book of Genesis at the conclusion of the flood of Noah's day. Noah had offered up a sacrifice to God, and God was pleased with that sacrifice, and he made a vow, made a declaration in the 8th chapter of the book of Genesis, verse 22. It says, while the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease. And God declared that at the beginning. Yes. And it's been that way ever since. So grateful that we don't have to be concerned about those things because those are spiritual laws. And the first one that he mentioned was seed time and harvest. Another way to state that is seed time is planting and harvest, or sowing and reaping. And so we're going to be talking to you today and sharing with you from the Bible about this principle. Actually, it's the spiritual law that God set in motion of sowing and reaping. And he went on to say in the first verse of chapter 9 of Genesis, and God pronounced a blessing upon Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And that has many, many meanings to it. But God wanted us as human beings to be productive, to be fruitful, to bring forth his plan and his purpose in the earth. And throughout the years we've seen where many have done that. They've laid that to heart, and they have multiplied not only as far as population is concerned, but as far as the replenishing of the earth, many things that God has established. And so we're going to be sharing that today. But many times when we talk about sowing and reaping, people immediately assume that we're only talking about money. We're only talking about material things. But that's not true. No. In fact, in the book of Acts, the 3rd chapter, it says that Peter and John were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer. And as they were going in through the gate called Beautiful, they saw a lame man lying there at the gate, had been there for many years perhaps, because he was born with a condition that caused him not to be able to walk. And as they were walking in through the gate, the man reached out to them and was crying out for alms or for an offering. He wanted them to give him something to meet his needs. But Peter looked upon him. They gazed upon him, the Bible says, and Peter said, look upon us. Of course, the man was expecting to receive money, but Peter said, silver and gold I don't have. I don't have any silver and gold. But such as I have, I'm going to give to you. And he said, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk. The man thought that what he needed was money. But Peter, by the Spirit of God, saw it much differently. And he said to the man, rise up and walk. Peter didn't have any silver and gold, but what he had was more precious than that. In fact, it not only affected the man physically, because he was healed by the power of God, but no doubt it helped him in other ways too. He became productive, was able to go to work, earn a living for his family, and so it was such a blessing. But we see in that the principle of sowing and reaping. Peter gave what he had. He gave what God gave him to give to this man, and that was the word of the Lord. And that meant more to him than if he had given him money. So we're going to be talking about that today. Linda's got some things to share with you that God laid upon her heart about the law of sowing and reaping.
Yes, so today from Galatians, the 6th chapter, we'll read a couple of verses and then we'll come back and talk about them. It says, "Do not be deceived, deluded, or misled. God will not allow himself to be sneered at, disdained, or mocked by mere pretensions, professions, or by his precepts being set aside. He who inevitably deludes himself attempts to delude God." In other words, if we try to make God think that we're okay and that what we're doing is right and that we're sowing the good seeds, then we're going to end up being deceived, because you're not going to lie to God. You're not going to pretend to him and he not know the difference. And it says, "For whatever a man sows, that and that only is what he will reap." And you know, when I read this, it talks about, or God will not allow you to mock him. And many times we have a picture in our minds about what mocking means. But he says here, mocked by pretensions or by professions. In other words, pretending something that you're not. Saying I'm a Christian, saying I love you, Jesus, and yet in your heart, that's not the truth. You may be saying the words, you may be doing some of the right things, but it's the heart that God looks on, and he knows what kind of seed you're sowing. I always think about 1 Kings chapter 18, where the true prophet of God, Elijah, met with the false prophets, 400 of them, and they were going to find out whose God was really God. And so the prophets of Baal, the false prophets, began to put their sacrifice out and ask God to send fire down upon it, or ask their God to send fire down upon it, and just to prove, that their God was stronger than the true God. And it said in the midst of that, they'd done all their skipping around, doing whatever they do as false prophets, and it says they played the part of prophets. And it always comes to me, how many of us who claim to be true Christians are playing the part and not really, we're just pretending. And God knows our hearts. And he says it's just a profession of faith, a profession of being a Christian. God knows what the heart is. But he says here, he will not allow that to continue, because whatever you sow, then that is what you're going to reap. And then he goes on and says, "For he who sows to his own flesh, the lower sensual nature, will from the flesh reap decay, ruin, and destruction. But he who sows to the Spirit will from the Spirit reap eternal life." And so there's two ways we can do. And this goes back to our choices every day. Every day we're sowing something, not realizing what the consequences may be of what our choices are as to what we're going to sow. But I wanted to read to you a scripture over in Matthew right here, chapter 6, verse 33, which many of you are probably very familiar with, but it makes it a little bit clearer about the sowing. "But seek, aim, and strive after, first of all, his kingdom and his righteousness, his way of doing and being right. And then all these things taken together will be given you besides." That's the reaping. All these things will be given you. But he explains it. He said, sow to righteousness. It said here, sowing to the Spirit, not to the flesh. So sowing to the Spirit would be God's way, Jesus' way of doing things and doing it right. That way we're sowing to the Spirit. But if you go about doing just on a whim, impulsively, not inquiring of Jesus, then that's sowing to the flesh. And in fact, the very next verse is, "So do not worry or be anxious about tomorrow. For tomorrow will have worries and anxieties of its own. Sufficient for each day is its own trouble." So we don't realize that when we get over into worrying, what I'm going to wear, what are we going to eat, how are we going to pay the house payment, how's the car payment going to get made, instead of going to Jesus and say, "Jesus, we're trusting you. You gave us these things. We're trusting you in it. But when you get over into worry, you're not sowing to the Spirit any longer. You're sowing to the flesh. And then the next verse, do not judge, criticize, condemn others, so that you may not be judged, criticized, and condemned yourself. For just as you judge and criticize and condemn others, you will be judged and criticized and condemned. In accordance with the measure you use to deal it out to others, it will be dealt to you again. So there you see the sowing and the reaping, but not to the good. That's to the flesh. You judge, you think you know better than someone else. You're not looking at the heart. You're looking purely at the flesh. And see, but God knows the heart. And he said, when you do that, then you're going to be judged. And to the measure and to the degree of wickedness and the anger and the whatever you feel on the inside that is not of God, then it's going to come back to you, and that will be our harvest. That when it comes, we don't want that harvest. Right. We don't want it at all. We want to sow to him. We want to, because we love him, not to get a good harvest, but because we love God. We love Jesus, and we're so grateful for all that he's done for us, that presence of his, by the Spirit of God on the inside of us, ought to rise up within us, and so that the seeds that we sow, even if we're not sitting down thinking consciously, I want to sow good seeds today, but we will, just because it comes out of a heart of loving him.
And he goes on to say there, let us not lose heart.
That's right.
And grow weary and faint in acting nobly and doing right.
That's right.
Now that'd be like a man going out and planting a garden, and the day after he planted the seed, he goes out there expecting to see something to pick. Well, that's ridiculous. It doesn't work that way. There is a growing time, but sometimes people get weary because it looks like it's not working.
That's right. And that's where, the just, those who have been justified by the blood of Jesus, shall live by faith, believing that what he said is going to come to pass. And so if you're doing something in faith, sowing a seed there, then we're going to believe Jesus no matter how long it takes.
Because it goes on to say, for in due time and at the appointed season we shall reap, if we do not loosen and relax our courage and faint.
That's right.
And many times that's where people faint, is in the mind, in their thoughts. Well, it looks like it's not working. It's not going to happen. I prayed and I asked God, and I did what he told me to do, and it's not working. And so they lose heart and courage and faint. And then it says, so then as occasion and opportunity open up to us, let us do good morally to all people, not only being useful or profitable to them, but also doing what is for their spiritual good and advantage.
Right.
Be mindful to be a blessing, especially to those of the household of faith, those who belong to God's family with you, the believers.
That's right.
And there are many opportunities that we have every day of our lives to sow something of God into somebody else's life, even if it's just going through the checkout at Walmart or the grocery store, and you see this person having a hard time. In fact, yesterday I went into a particular store to get something, and the lady that was the cashier was having a difficult time with the person that was checking out ahead of me. But she was very patient with her. And so when I got to the register myself, I leaned over and I said, I'd like to commend you on your patience today. And she looked surprised and smiled, and she said, well, I'd like to commend you on your patience too, because she saw that I was having to wait in line. But just a word, a kind word spoken like that, or an encouraging word, is sowing. And somewhere down the line, somebody is going to reap a harvest on that. Because it also is refreshing to us to see that somebody's life can be changed by something that God has us to do.
And so we need to really be mindful to be a blessing. And it's God that brings the increase. It's God that does that work and even gives you the words to say or the inclination to want to. I recall years ago, when I came into the Christian school, I didn't know exactly what my place was going to be. But in the morning, God led me to pray, oh, Jesus, help me, make me, cause me to be a blessing today. And, I didn't know what all that meant. And many times we're doing things, we don't know if that's a blessing, in somebody else's eyes or not. But it's God that brings the increase. It's God that makes it into a blessing.
And God then can multiply back to you that which you've given for him.
That's right.
The Bible says in the book of Proverbs, he that gives to the poor lends to the Lord, and the Lord will repay him again. Now, we don't give to the poor so that we can get blessed ourselves, but we do that because that's the nature of God and the character of God. Jesus said in Luke chapter 6, verse 31, and we call this the golden rule, and it says, and as you would like and desire that men would do to you, do exactly so to them. If we want to be loved, we give love.
We sow love.
We sow love. If we, whatever it is that we need in our lives, it's where we need to be consciously aware, are we doing what we want others to do for us? And Jesus said also, if you merely love those who love you, what quality of credit and thanks is that to you? For even the very sinners love their lovers, those who love them. And if you're kind and good and do favors to and benefit those who are kind and good and do favors to and benefit you, what quality of credit and thanks is that to you? For even the preeminently sinful do that. And if you lend money at interest to those from whom you hope to receive, what quality of credit and thanks is that to you? Even notorious sinners lend money at interest to sinners, so as to recover as much again. But he says, but love your enemies. That's change, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Love your enemies and be kind and do good, doing favors so that someone derives benefit from them, and lend expecting and hoping for nothing in return, but considering nothing is lost and despairing of no one. And then your recompense, your reward, in other words, your reaping, the harvest, will be great, rich, strong, intense, and abundant. And you will be the sons of the Most High, for he is kind and charitable and good to the ungrateful and the selfish and the wicked. So be merciful, be sympathetic, be tender, be responsive and compassionate. That's sowing seeds.
That's right. And the thing of mercy, being merciful. I know it says over there in the book of James about, be merciful and then you will receive mercy again. And there's not a day goes by that I don't need God's mercy in my life. It says his mercies are new every morning, and we're so grateful they are. But many times, have some mercy. I mean, somebody may be going through a hard time. Many times we don't have any idea what somebody else is having to deal with, what somebody else has had happen in their life. Every day we hear situations and you think, well, what I thought my situation was is nothing compared to this person's.
That's right.
So let's make sure that we sow seeds of mercy in people's lives, because we have received much mercy.
Be sympathetic, tender, responsive, compassionate. That's sowing seeds from God into someone else's life, and there will be a harvest of fruitfulness, righteousness. He goes on to say in verse 38, give, and gifts will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will they pour into the pouch formed by the bosom of your robe and used as a bag. For with the measure you deal out, listen, with the measure that you deal out, with the measure you use when you confer benefits on others, or that you sow from, it will be measured back to you. And the same measure that you give forth something into someone's life, if you do it grudgingly and out of necessity, there's no benefit in it. If you do it for some ulterior motive or selfish motive on your part, there's no fruit born from that.
That's right.
In the book of Haggai, Old Testament, Haggai chapter 1, the prophet Haggai said, then came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet, saying, is it time for you yourselves to dwell in your paneled houses, while this house of the Lord lies in ruins? Now therefore, thus says the Lord of hosts, consider your ways, and set your mind on what has come to you. You have sown much, but you have reaped little. Mm-hmm. How many times have we heard that over the years? Well, I gave, and I gave, and I gave, and I did this, and I did that. and I didn't get any good out of it. You have sown much, but you've reaped little. You eat, but you do not have enough. You drink, but you do not have your fill. You clothe yourself, but no one's warm. And he who earns wages has earned them to put them in a bag with holes in it. I've heard that expression many times. Seems like every time I get a little extra money, it ends up going, it's like going through the hole in my pockets. Thus says the Lord of hosts. In other words, what's my problem? He says, consider your ways, your previous and present conduct, and how you have fared. What's the condition of your heart? How much of your heart have you given to God? That makes the difference. When we sow out of a heart of giving, out of a heart of compassion, out of a heart of tenderness and sympathy from God, that's when it makes a difference. And then in 2 Corinthians chapter 9.
Well, right before we go there, God brought to my remembrance about in Ephesians chapter 6, scriptures that if you've ever been in Sunday school or anything like that, I know you remember. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is just and right, that your days may be long upon the earth. That obeying your parents brings great reward.
Yes, it does.
And parents and grandparents, we need to sow that into our children and help them to see that it is God's way of helping them and teaching them and learning for them to obey their parents so that their days will be long upon the earth and it will go well with them. And then it also says, and fathers, do not provoke your children to anger. There's the other side of it, where they're not to be provoked. You're not to treat them roughly, so to speak. Harshly, but to teach them. They come into this world, they don't know. And as adults, we're supposed to seek God and find out how to raise our children. There's no book written other than the Bible that can help us with that, because there's so many, they're different children, they're different circumstances, and we need that. But every time we take them to Jesus, then we're sowing seeds in their lives.
That's right.
And every time they obey you as God's representative, then they are sowing into their life too. See, it's being sown. And it's sowing to the spirit, not to the flesh. Every time they disobey, when they lie, when you lie, it says there'll be no liars in heaven. That's sowing to the flesh. Strife in your household, strife between mom and dad, between allowing it between brothers and sisters, or sisters and sisters, whatever might be the case, strife is sowing to the flesh. And you know what the harvest of that is going to be? More strife.
Right.
The book of James says is every evil work. When there's strife and where there's confusion, then there is every evil work. It just opens the door for the devil to come in with anything he chooses to disrupt your home and to send your children down a wrong path. Okay, now over to 2 Corinthians chapter 9. Again, probably familiar scripture to you. It says, remember this. So we need to remember it today. He who sows sparingly and grudgingly will also reap sparingly and grudgingly. And he who sows generously, that blessings may come to someone, will also reap generously and with blessings. So there you have both sides of it. We get to choose this day who we're going to serve. You know, are we going to sow sparingly? Then what are you going to get? If you're going to sow sow out of a heart that wants to see to it that somebody else is blessed, that tells you what the attitude of the heart should be in that. Then you will reap generously and with blessings. And it is a spiritual law. And it will happen, again, if you do not faint and lose courage and not believe God.
I was just thinking about, we have opportunity many times to give into the needs of others. And when Linda and I hear about that, we inquire of God, God, what would you have us to give? And so I'm inquiring of God, she's inquiring of God, and then we ask each other, well, what were you carrying? Well, if her amount was less than mine, I say, well, we're going with that. Or if mine is less than hers, we go with that. I'd rather give more I thought about than less than that.
Absolutely. Go
That's
with
sowing sparingly instead of generously.
But again, as in everything that God does, the condition of the heart is involved there. It is very much involved there. So he says, let each one give as he made up his own mind and purposed in his heart. See, we purposed to give the higher number. We purposed it in our heart, not reluctantly or sorrowfully or under compulsion. I am so grateful to have something to give. So grateful, because there was a time in our lives when we didn't have that to give. And I'm not saying, we have all that much, but whatever it is, I am so grateful now because people were so good to us and sowed into our lives. And now God has given us the seed to sow. He's the one that provides the seed, and he's the one that brings the results of it to pass. And so he says, for God loves, takes pleasure in, and prizes above other things as unwilling to do without a cheerful, joyous, prompt to do it giver whose heart is in his giving. And then the result, the harvest is going to be, and God is able to make all grace. That means every favor, every blessing come to you. Whatever you may need, whatever your circumstances at the moment, so that you will not lack in anything. He's able to return that to you because he's seen your heart.
Well, I know in these scriptures it's specifically talking about material things here, finances, so forth. But it goes across the board. It covers every aspect of our lives. That God is looking for someone who is willing to let him, in other words, let God use them to be a blessing in someone else's life.
That's right.
I want to be that person, and I hope you do too, because that's why we're here. What we call ourselves Christians is those that show the love of God.
Christ-like.
When people see that we love one another, they know that we've been with Jesus.
That's right.
That we're serving him, that we want to do his will.
And it goes on to remind us again, for God who provides seed for the sower and bread for eating will also provide and multiply your resources for sowing. The more you sow, the more God's going to provide for you to have to sow. I mean, that's just the way it works. He's the one that provides the seed. He's the one that brings the increase. And no matter what area it may be, if it's a kind word, if it's money, whatever it is, always remember. And if we see, God shows us, well, you've sown a lot of seeds in the past that weren't good. What do? We turn to him. Jesus, help me. Forgive me. I don't want those seeds in my heart. And, and go in there and allow those seeds to be dug up by the roots so that things can be different. You receive Jesus as your Lord and Savior so that you'll have a heart that wants to sow the right kind of seeds.
And, the thing that we need to realize is that every time that we're inquiring of God about the seed that he wants to plant in our hearts, or he wants us to plant in someone else's heart, the enemy is there at the same time to try to pluck up that seed and keep it from bearing a harvest. Jesus said in Matthew chapter 13, it was talking about the parable of the sower, first of all, and then he says, as for what was sown among thorns, this is he who hears the word, but cares of the world and the pleasure, delight and glamour and deceitfulness of riches choke and suffocate the word, and it yields no fruit. Why? Because of all of the things that are happening, all the things that are going on. But he goes on down and says another parable he sets forth before them, saying the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while he was sleeping, the enemy came and sowed also darnel, or weeds, resembling wheat. It looked just like wheat, but it wasn't real wheat. Have you ever noticed when you try to plant a garden that weeds will grow when nothing else will? Well, the enemy is always there to try to prove to us that it works another way, and it doesn't.
No.
When we sow unto the things of God, that's what we reap. And Jesus goes on and says there, wait till the harvest, because when harvest comes, the darnel, the false weeds that the enemy sowed, won't have any fruit.
That's right.
But what God sows in our hearts and in the hearts of others will bear fruit if we do not grow weary in well-doing and faint in our minds before it happens. Well, we're out of time today. But it's been so good to share the Word of God with you. We love you so much. We ask you to get into God's Word, let Him speak to you today. Amen.
The music's on us on WCAB.
From ABC News,